Chosen one, this moment right now is not random and it is not accidental. Heaven has been pulling you into this very second because God has an urgent message for you, a message that cannot wait, a message that has been echoing in the unseen realms long before your mind even wondered what was happening in your life lately. And if your spirit feels a trembling, a stirring, a quiet heaviness you can't quite explain, that is the confirmation that this word is meant for you, because God has been trying to reach you through signs, through silence, through sudden shifts that left you confused, but now He is speaking plainly. Listen before you miss it. You've been moving, doing, chasing, trying to keep up with responsibilities and expectations, but the truth is your soul has been starving for something deeper, something eternal, something real, and heaven has been watching you drift through days with thoughts heavy on your chest and questions swirling in your heart. God says, "My child, you've been surrounded by noise so loud that my whisper has been drowned out, but I did not stop speaking. I've been waiting for the moment you would pause, long enough for me to reach into your spirit and pull you close. You think your recent frustrations are random, but they are not. The delay that irritated you, the sudden quietness around you, the distancing of people you thought were permanent, the unexpected heaviness that sits on your heart at night. These are not coincidences, they are divine signals, heaven's alarms ringing softly inside your soul, telling you that God is redirecting you before something in your life collapses under pressure you were never meant to carry alone." And God says, "Chosen one, you've been surviving when I called you to walk in clarity. You've been pushing through storms you should have handed to me. You've been running on empty while pretending you're fine because the world expects strength, but I never asked you to be strong without me. Listen closely, this is not a season of punishment. This is a season of interruption, a holy interruption where God steps into your path, touches your heart, slows your pace, and says, 'Stop. Listen. Something is coming, and I refuse to let you miss it.' You've been praying for answers but ignoring the silence that carries them. You've been asking God for direction but rushing through the moments where He tries to guide you. You've been hoping for a sign, not realizing that the unrest in your spirit is the sign. Heaven is drawing you away from distractions because you cannot carry confusion into the future God is preparing for you. Every door that recently closed, every person who suddenly stepped back, every opportunity that slipped out of your hands, these were not losses, they were protections. God says, I am removing what would delay you, exposing what would drain you, and shaking what you tried to stabilize without me. You don't see it yet, but the divine pruning you feel is heaven preparing you for revelation, because God never cuts without planning to heal, never isolates without planning to speak, never removes without planning to restore. And now He says, chosen one, you are entering a moment that will define your next season. If you listen, you will step into alignment. If you ignore me, you will repeat cycles I died to free you from. This is why the spiritual atmosphere around you has changed. This is why you feel like you can't tolerate certain people anymore. This is why conversations irritate you, noise overwhelms you, and shallow things exhaust you. God is elevating your spirit, stretching your discernment, sharpening your hearing, and purifying your environment because what is coming requires clarity, sensitivity, and obedience. You are not imagining the shift, you are experiencing spiritual transition. The version of you that God is calling forth cannot survive in your old patterns, and heaven will not allow your destiny to be suffocated by your comfort. God says, I have been trying to open your eyes. I've been nudging you in the quiet moments. I've been stirring your heart at midnight. I've been speaking through the thoughts you keep ignoring. I've been calling you into deeper waters, but you keep staying in the shallows out of fear of what might change. Hear Him now, this is your wake-up call. This is your moment. This is the hour your spirit has been waiting for. The enemy has tried to overwhelm you not because you are weak, but because you are close to breakthrough, close to alignment, close to the moment God reveals why everything had to happen the way it did. You've been carrying unspoken battles, silent pain, hidden disappointment, the kind you never talk about, the kind only God sees, and He says, I saw every tear. I felt every weight. I heard every unspoken prayer. And now I am stepping in. God is pulling you into stillness not to slow your life down but to reset your spirit, realign your path, and refill what life has drained. You have been stretched thin, smiling outwardly while crumbling quietly, but heaven says, no more. I am restoring what the world tried to strip from you. I am awakening what fear tried to bury. I am strengthening what doubt tried to weaken. This may feel like a strange season, a lonely season, an unsettling season, but that's because God is separating you from noise so you can finally hear the whisper that's about to shift everything. He says, "Chosen one, listen closely, because the next thing I speak will guide you into the very breakthrough you've been praying for." Because what is unfolding in your life right now is not confusion, it is preparation, and God is saying, "Chosen one, I am positioning you for something you are not even ready to imagine, but before I reveal it, I must realign you." You've been asking why people changed, why conversations feel different, why your heart doesn't connect the way it once did, and the reason is simple: God is detaching you from anything that cannot enter the next chapter with you. He's separating you from emotional clutter, spiritual noise, and hidden drains that were silently pulling strength out of you, because heaven knows what your future requires even when you don't. And God says, you are not losing people, you are losing weights. You are not losing opportunities, you are losing obstacles. You are not losing direction, you are losing distraction. You've been carrying responsibilities you should have never carried alone, and it has hardened parts of you that were meant to stay tender. Your compassion became guarded, your trust became cautious, your hope became hesitant, and God is breaking through that shell right now, not to expose you, but to free you. He's been softening your spirit again, reconnecting you to the part of yourself that pain tried to suffocate, because He needs your heart open for what's coming next. The weariness you've been feeling is not weakness, it's spiritual exhaustion from fighting battles He never asked you to fight. He's been trying to pull you aside, slow you down, and whisper, "You don't have to carry this anymore," but you've been too busy surviving to hear it. Now heaven is stepping in more boldly. Every quiet night, every sudden moment of heaviness, every unexpected emotional wave, these were divine invitations, heaven's gentle ways of saying, "I need your attention, not your performance. I need your surrender, not your strength." And now He speaks clearer than before, "Listen before you miss it." You've been seeing signs, repeating numbers, recurring thoughts, moments that feel strangely meaningful. These are not coincidences. They are signals that your spirit is awakening to the divine timing around you. God has been synchronizing events in your life, aligning you with people you've never met, closing doors you didn't expect, pulling you away from environments that used to feel comfortable, and all of this is heaven's way of ensuring you don't settle where you were never meant to stay. The uneasiness you've been fighting is spiritual transition. You feel like you're in between places, no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming, and that space in between is where God does His deepest work. He removes what's temporary to reveal what's eternal. He empties what's familiar to make room for what's divine. He shakes your foundation because there is something higher He is preparing to build. And He is saying now, "Chosen one, I am shifting you out of who you used to be. Stop trying to hold on to identities that no longer fit the person I am shaping you into." You sense it. You've outgrown certain conversations, certain habits, certain circles, certain emotional cycles. Your tolerance for things that drain you has dropped. Your appetite for superficiality has vanished. You crave depth, truth, clarity, alignment, and that craving is heaven's signal that your spirit is maturing. God is growing you faster than your environment can understand, and that is why you feel misunderstood, isolated, or even disconnected at times. But isolation for the chosen is not abandonment. It is divine incubation. God hides you before He reveals you. He disconnects you to protect you. He puts you in quiet places to pour revelation into you that noise would drown out. And now He says, "I've been calling your name in the silence. I've been waiting for you in the quiet moments. I've been shaping you in the shadows where no one sees." The pressure you feel is the evidence of transformation. You've been praying for breakthrough, not realizing that breakthrough often comes disguised as breaking. But God does not break you to harm you. He breaks you to rebuild you into the version of yourself that can carry destiny without collapsing under its weight. And now heaven whispers again, "Don't run from the discomfort. I am in it. Don't escape the stillness. I sent it." Because there are things God can only reveal in quiet places. Instructions meant only for your ears, clarity reserved only for your path, revelation designed only for your assignment. He is removing the loud voices around you so you can hear the one voice that matters. And in this moment he says, "Chosen one, the shift happening in your life is not random, it is spiritual architecture. I am rearranging what you cannot see so that what you have prayed for can finally manifest." God is preparing you for something that requires you to be alert, sensitive, and available. Your spirit cannot be cluttered. Your vision cannot be blurred. Your heart cannot be divided. So heaven is clearing your path, even if it feels uncomfortable. He's cutting ties you weren't strong enough to cut yourself. He's ending cycles you would have stayed trapped in. He's removing illusions you might have trusted. And through every shaking moment he repeats, "Listen before you miss it." What's coming requires a version of you that is healed, aligned, and awakened. And that is why he is drawing you into his presence with urgency, with intensity, with purpose. He is not calling you casually, he is calling you deliberately. Because the next phase of your destiny is too significant to enter distracted. The next blessing is too weighty to carry with a scattered spirit. The next door is too big to walk through with old burdens on your back. And God says, "What I am about to reveal, what I am about to release, what I am about to instruct, you must be still enough to hear it." You are on the edge of clarity. You are on the edge of breakthrough. You are on the edge of divine revelation that will redefine your direction. And now God leans close to your spirit and says, "Prepare your heart. What I speak next will open your eyes. Because what I am about to unfold in your spirit will make sense of every battle, every restless night, every unanswered question, every moment you felt forgotten, and every tear you tried to hide from the world." Chosen one, heaven is peeling back the veil now, and God is saying, "I am about to show you why the journey had to be this difficult, why the struggle had to be this long, and why the pressure had to be this intense. You thought the weight you carried was punishment, but it was training. You thought the silence was abandonment, but it was alignment. You thought the loneliness meant you were falling apart, but it was actually the season where God was pulling you apart, piece by piece, to rebuild you stronger, deeper, wiser, and more spiritually sensitive than you have ever been. The enemy didn't fight you because you were weak. He fought you because he saw the shift coming before you did. He felt the change in your atmosphere, the fire in your spirit, the awakening in your soul, and he tried to overwhelm you with fear, distraction, discouragement, and confusion so that you would miss what God was preparing you to receive. But hear this, everything the enemy tried to use to break you, God is now using to build you. Every delay prepared your character. Every disappointment refined your discernment. Every heartbreak expanded your capacity. Every setback strengthened your foundation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was accidental. God says, "I have been behind the scenes arranging, removing, reshaping, cleansing, and preparing you, because what is coming next requires a version of you that knows my voice, trusts my timing, and follows my leading even when the path looks unfamiliar." You've been feeling a shift in your desires, an elevation in your expectations, a sharpening in your instincts. That is your spirit adjusting to the frequency of God's movement in your life. You are sensing things before they happen. You are feeling the spiritual atmosphere of situations before you enter them. You are losing taste for what once satisfied you. That's because God is detoxing your soul from everything that used to distract you from His whisper. The appetite you lost was intentional. The people you drifted from were intentional. The plans that stopped working were intentional. Heaven has been rearranging your environment so your spirit can be free enough to catch the instructions about to be released. And now God says, "Chosen one, the reason you feel the tension between who you were and who you're becoming is because you are walking out of an old identity and stepping into divine purpose. That tension is not confusion, it is transformation. You are shedding old skins, old habits, old fears, old mindsets, old emotional cycles. God is removing anything that dims your light, anything that exhausts your spirit, anything that keeps you spiritually small, because the assignment ahead of you demands spiritual maturity, emotional stability, and unwavering clarity. You've been sensing that something major is about to happen, but you couldn't articulate it. That's because your spirit saw it before your mind understood it. Heaven has already moved pieces into place. Doors are already aligning. Opportunities are already being shaped. Divine connections are already being positioned. Breakthrough is already in motion. But before God leads you into what He prepared, He needs your heart fully awake, your ears spiritually tuned, and your spirit completely surrendered. That's why He called you into stillness. That's why He pulled you into quietness. That's why He interrupted your routine. You are in a sacred transition, one that angels celebrate and darkness fears. God is not just preparing to bless you, He is preparing to reveal you. You are entering a season where what was hidden will be unveiled, what was delayed will be accelerated, what was broken will be restored, what was difficult will be made easy, and what was confusing will suddenly become clear. But clarity does not come through chaos, it comes through communion. And God is whispering, "This is the moment I need you to listen deeper than ever before, because what I am about to say will shape the direction of your future." Your spirit is being upgraded. Your mind is being renewed. Your discernment is being sharpened. Your faith is being stretched. God is pushing you into the higher calling you always felt but never fully understood. He's saying, "I did not bring you this far to leave you wandering. I did not let the storm take you because your purpose is not finished. I did not allow the enemy to destroy you because your assignment is too important. You survived battles that were designed to break you because heaven has a mandate on your life. And now the weight you carried for years is about to turn into wisdom. The wounds you hid are about to become testimonies. The tears that burned your pillow are about to water the seeds of destiny. God is elevating your spirit not so you can boast, but so you can build. Build peace, build purpose, build alignment, build impact, build the life heaven designed for you long before you entered this world." And He says, "Chosen one, I am about to give you instructions. I am about to give you revelation. I am about to give you clarity, but you must be still long enough to receive it." What comes next is not small. What comes next is not ordinary. What comes next is not casual. It is significant. It is destiny level. It is life-altering. And that is why heaven has been stirring your spirit with urgency. You are stepping into a divine sequence, a supernatural unfolding that will make sense of everything you endured. But you must be attentive. You must be sensitive. You must be willing to hear God even when what He says challenges your comfort. He is calling you higher, deeper, closer. Your next chapter begins with the next whisper you hear. And God is saying, "Prepare yourself. Your breakthrough is about to take shape in a way you never imagined." Because this final stretch of your journey into alignment is where heaven begins to unfold the pieces that were hidden, the answers that were delayed, and the breakthroughs that were being built quietly beneath the surface of your life. Chosen one, God is saying, now that your spirit is still, now that your heart is open, now that your ears are tuned to my whisper, I can release what I have been waiting to give you. You have been carrying questions for years. Why did this happen? Why did they leave? Why did the door close? Why did the season shift? Why did the silence last so long? And God is stepping into your spirit with clarity that washes over you like light breaking through a long night. He says, everything you thought was breaking you was actually building you. Everything you thought was delaying you was actually preparing you. Everything you thought was hurting you was actually shaping you. Nothing was out of order. Nothing was wasted. Nothing slipped through His hands. Heaven has been orchestrating a sequence in your life so precise, so intentional, so delicately designed that only now, with your spirit awakened, can you begin to see that the pain had purpose, the isolation had meaning, and the shaking had destiny encoded inside it. You survived seasons that would have crushed others because God placed strength in places you didn't even know existed. You endured spiritual warfare that woke at night just to attack your peace because the enemy knew your future carried too much light for darkness to ignore. You walked through internal storms that few people knew about, and still you rose, still you tried, still you held on even when your grip was trembling. And God says, this is why I am releasing this message to you now, because you never gave up even when you felt forgotten. You kept walking even when your heart was heavy. You kept believing even when heaven felt silent. And now the silence is over. Heaven is breaking the quiet. Revelation is being poured. Strategies are being released. Instructions are being whispered. Breakthroughs are being unlocked. You are entering a season where God will speak clearly, repeatedly, intimately, and unmistakably. He says, "Chosen one, prepare yourself for answers." The clarity that escaped you is returning. The direction you pleaded for is coming. The peace you begged for is settling. The healing you prayed for is awakening. You are stepping into a season where God restores the years that pain devoured, where He heals wounds you forgot you carried, where He resurrects dreams you thought were buried, and where He strengthens the parts of you that life tried to weaken. This is not just a breakthrough, it is a divine reset. God is rearranging your atmosphere. He is rebuilding your foundation. He is renewing your strength. He is recalibrating your spirit so you can walk into the next chapter with authority, clarity, and unwavering peace. He says, "I am clearing the fog from your eyes. I am removing the weight from your shoulders. I am breaking the chains from your past. You will not carry old pain into new seasons. You will not drag old fears into new blessings. You will not bring old confusion into new clarity." This is your moment of spiritual cleansing. Heaven is washing away everything that threatened to distort your destiny. God is lifting burdens that were never yours to carry. He is pulling you out of cycles that kept you spiritually stuck. He is breaking emotional patterns that drained your energy, and He is severing ties that were harming your purpose, even if they felt familiar. He says, "Chosen one, you are not who you used to be. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into places your spirit has outgrown. The calling on your life is too big for the rooms you used to sit in. The anointing on your life is too strong for the conversations you used to entertain. The mantle on your life is too heavy for the environments you used to settle for." God is elevating you, not to isolate you, but to separate you from anything that limits your growth. You've been feeling the stretch, the spiritual pull that makes you uncomfortable in places that once felt normal, and this stretch is not stress, it is preparation. Heaven is enlarging your capacity because what is coming will require more faith, more discernment, more obedience, and more spiritual maturity than ever before. But do not fear, God is not preparing you for something that will overwhelm you. He is preparing you for something that will transform you. He says, "I am sending provision you didn't see coming. I am sending support you didn't know you needed. I am sending opportunities that were waiting for the moment your spirit aligned with my timing. Doors that were locked will suddenly open. People who once ignored you will suddenly honor you. Paths that felt confusing will suddenly feel clear. What once drained you will no longer affect you. What once broke you will no longer reach you. What once intimidated you will no longer shake you." You are stepping into spiritual authority, the kind that comes from knowing who walks beside you, who strengthens you, who guides you, and who calls you by name. God says, "You are mine. I have marked you. I have covered you. I have chosen you. And no force of darkness can undo what I have destined for you." This is the season where heaven fights for you, where angels go before you, where divine protection surrounds you, where unexpected favor follows you, and where supernatural alignment pushes you into places you didn't even know were prepared for you. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into destiny. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into fulfillment. You are not entering another battle. You are entering a promised season. And God says, "Listen closely. Your life is about to shift in ways that will leave you in awe of my faithfulness." The heaviness you have been feeling is lifting. The confusion that clouded your mind is dissolving. The spiritual pressure that weighed on your chest for months is breaking. The stillness God called you into is now transforming into movement, divine movement, guided movement, purposeful movement. Your steps will no longer feel random. Your decisions will no longer feel heavy. Your future will no longer feel unclear. God is illuminating your path one instruction at a time. And now He speaks the final words of this message, words meant to settle into the deepest part of your spirit. "Chosen one, you will not miss what I am doing in your life. I am leading you. I am covering you. I am guiding you. Stay close, stay sensitive, stay surrendered, and watch how I turn everything you walked through into everything you prayed for."